In this lecture, we will learn what is the role of international trade in economic growth of nation. There are two views about the role of international trade in economic growth of nation. First is the classical and neoclassical economists attached so much importance to international trade in a country's development that they regarded it as an engine of growth. Second is represented by economists like Mint, Nurse, Singer, Lewis, and Myrdal. By this economists, international trade has led to international inequality, whereby the rich countries have become richer at the cost of poor countries. However, foreign trade has great significance for developing and underdeveloped countries. It provides the desire to develop the knowledge and experience that makes development possible and also provides the means to accomplish it. In the words of Haberler, my overall conclusion is that international trade has made a tremendous contribution to the development of developing countries in the 19th and 20th century and can be expected to make an equally big contribution in the future. Therefore, we can understand shortly what is the role of international trade in economic growth. This role has divided into two parts. One is direct benefits for economic growth of nation and another is indirect benefits for economic growth of nation. First is specialization in the production. There are many theories of international trade which based on specialization in production by factor endowments, in which first was introduced by Adam Smith. He says that when a country having abundant labor availability, he will produce big quantities of labor intensive techniques products and import those products which having large use of capital, and he will reduce his cost of production through this specialization in production of goods as well as by the division of labor also. Next is extension of market. A developing country is hampered by the small size of domestic market, which fails to absorb sufficient volume of output of products which it can produce relatively cheaper. This forces the investment to be maintained at a low level. Similarly, low per capita income and poor purchasing power keeps the size of market small. But international trade widens the market and increases the inducement to invest income and savings through more efficient resource allocation. Next is efficient allocation of resources. The existing resources are employed more productively and the resource allocation becomes more efficient within the given production function. This reduces unemployment and underemployment, increases domestic savings and investment. There is a large inflow of factors input into the expanding export sector and creates greater backward and forward linkages with the other sectors of the economy. Next is more productive use of resources. Because if you specialize in the production, automatically use of resources will be for more productive. Next is international trade helps to transform subsistence sector to monetized sector by providing markets for farm produces, thereby increasing the income and standard of living of the farmers. The expansion of market leads to many internal and external economies and helps reduce the cost of production. All the above benefits are direct and static advantages from international trade. There are indirect dynamic benefits of a high order from foreign trade. By enlarging the size of the market and the scope of specialization, international trade makes a greater use of machinery, encourages inventions and innovations, raises labor productivity, lowers cost and leads to economic development. Moreover, foreign trade acquaints people with new products, tempts and goods them to work harder to save and accumulate capital for the satisfaction of their new wants. It leads to importation of foreign capital and instills new ideas, technical knowledge, skills, managerial talents, and entrepreneurship. In which first is import of capital goods against export of staple goods. Foreign trade helps to exchange domestic goods having low growth potential for foreign goods with high growth potential. The staple commodities of underdeveloped countries are exchanged for machinery, capital goods, raw materials, and semi-finished goods required for economic development. Being deficient in capital goods and materials, they are able to quicken the pace of development by importing them from developed countries and establishing social and economic overheads and directly productive activities. Thus, larger exports enlarge the volume of imports of equipment that can be financed without endangering the balance of payments, and greater degree of freedom makes it easier to plan domestic investment for development. Next point is importation of educative effect. Foreign trade possesses an educative effect. Underdeveloped countries lack critical skills, which are greater hindrance to development. Foreign trade tends to overcome this weakness. The importation of ideas, skills, and know-how is a great stimulus to technological progress in underdeveloped countries. Foreign trade helps in accelerating the development of poor countries by facilitating the selective borrowings of ideas, skills, and know-how from the developed countries and adopting them in accordance with their factor in domains. The rapid development of even a country like Japan has been the result of the educative effect in international trade. Basis for importation of foreign capital. Developing countries are generally capital deficient nations. International trade helps in import of capital goods against export of staple goods. The staple goods of developing nations are exchanged for machinery, capital goods, raw material, and semi finished products required for economic development. Thus, when the import capital goods and materials, it quickens the pace of development. In this manner, developing countries are able to establish social and economic overheads. Larger exports enlarge the volume of imports of equipments that can be financed without unbalancing the balance of payments. This freedom helps the country in concentrating on planning domestic investment for development. Next, checking of inefficient monopolies. Foreign trade benefits least developed countries indirectly by fostering healthy competition and checking inefficient monopolies. Healthy competition is essential for the development of the export sector of such economies and for checking inefficient exploitative monopolies that are usually established on the grounds of infant industry production. Therefore, we can conclude that foreign trade, in addition to the static gains resulting from efficient resource allocation with given production functions, powerfully contributes in four ways, which are discussed above, by transforming existing production functions and pushing them upward outwards. Thank you. Thank you very much.